Hey there. Before we start the episode, we just wanted to say a few words about some exciting things that will happen in the future. Because today we're proud to announce that we will be playing the epic campaign module Emissary Lost for the sci-fi RPG Coriolis as our second Patreon bonus campaign. Coriolis could be described as Firefly meets 1001 Nights, and is made by the very talented people over at Fria Ligan. Emissary Lost is the first part of the Mercy of the Icons campaign that makes up the central story of the game. Adam Palmqvist, one of the writers behind the module, will be leading Hjalmar, Craig, and Jenny Bremberg, whom you may know from our Neotech adventure, on an epic journey through the Third Horizon and through events that will change the Coriolis universe forever. The Emissary Lost campaign will be our second Patreon-exclusive campaign available at the $3 level, and the first few episodes will be released for free here in the main feed to give you a taste of what is to come. Backing at the $5 level will give you access to both Emissary Lost as well as Taroticum for Occult Divinity Lost. To follow these campaigns, help the show, and listen to Session 0 of both Taroticum and Emissary Lost already today, head over to Patreon. Now let's get back to Ravenloft. We cannot stay in Valakai. I don't know what the Baron has planned for us, but every fiber of my being is yelling to me that this is some kind of trap. We are, after all, outsiders, an unpredictable threat to the balance of power here, and we are clearly enemies of the devil. Having us as guests is a provocation to the Count, and having now filled our role in clearing up the threat to the vineyard, it must now be time to dispose of us, showing the devil that he has nothing to fear from Valakai, preferably in a high-profile way, like at a festival. That must be why he wouldn't let us leave. Perhaps he even intends to hand over Irina. That would be a way to get the Count off the back of Valakai for a long time. And I have seen how that creature, that Itzhak, how he looks at her, constantly keeping guard. There's something unnatural about that look. As emotionless as he is, there is a dark fire there. No, she is not safe here. We must go. We must. Nathander, please guide me. I have no idea if this is the right thing to do. Is this paranoia? Madness? Are my thoughts twisted by the Count's power, seeing threats where there are none? But this place, it casts such a dark shadow, and if it feels like the right course of action, does that mean that I'm doing your bidding? Surely it must be so. Bless us, Morning Lord. We are about to go out into the night. This is Red Moon Role-Playing.
The night is dark, and the town of Valakai oddly silent. Still, you have managed to make your way back to the Blue Water Inn without drawing any undue attention. What do you do?
I am going to get my horse.
Yes.
You go to the stables, you are greeted by one of the young boys, or the young Martikovs. He smiles and helps you get your horses ready. What are you doing then? Are you... Irina's looking towards the wagon, and then looking towards you questioningly. Are you taking a wagon with you, or are you going to try and hitch her on one of your horses?
Oh, she can ride with me if she likes.
Or shall we try and get another horse here? We could actually do that, could we not? We have some money. Perhaps there is one that we can get a hold of from the Martikovs.
Roman, you decide to try and talk to Erwin Martikov to see about getting another horse. His boy goes to summon him. He comes out. My friends, it's good to see you, but I'm confused. You are leaving in such a rush. You would be safer to leave in the morning, surely. It's almost nightfall. The roads will be dangerous.
Yes, but we have a feeling that it will be dangerous here as well. We must leave. We must leave. We need a horse for Irina. She's coming with us. Is that something that you could help us with?
He frowns. He nods. Very well, you have done so much for us. I suppose we can spare you one more horse, although you are totally going to have to pay us back sometime for all these horses I am giving you. We are not made of money, but I suppose for now, borrowing wouldn't harm. We have one horse left. And he points to a white sort of stallion horse that seems to be the only other horse in the stable at the moment. Very well, I am sad to see that you are going, but very well, if you must leave, you must leave. Muriel will be sad to miss you. She'll be heading out in the morning with my brother, Adrian. Very well, then, I will sort you out with this horse.
Thank you so much.
You now have 3 horses. It is now evening. What do you do?
Now, to find a way out of here, we will need to pass through the gates. I ask him, Irvin, to get out of the city at night. Is there a way other than the main gate?
Not really. You will have to go through the main gate. The walls are quite secure. The guards will be there, though there shouldn't be too many. There's normally 4. I suppose you could... You really are desperate to leave. What? Tell me, what is happening? This seems very sudden. Something we should know.
Well, I interrupted this and I say, well, we've met a new ally and who is also keen on, stopping the lord of the land, I say in a hushed voice, and he insisted that we keep on the move, and now I think that's something that we need to do. We have some things that we need to sort out in order to have the strength for the fight ahead.
I suppose you could create some sort of distraction. I don't know how you would, though. We could maybe assist you, but I don't know the full plan. What do you think?
I grow a bit hesitant, looking out in the dark at the roads. Well, I don't know, really. Maybe this is a rash idea, but they'll notice that we've gone into the church and not come out. They'll start to grow suspicious.
Maybe. You could always check what the situation is right now. See for yourself what it is. Irina could stay here for a moment, or you could go outside. We might be able to cause a distraction for you, if you know what I mean. I do not know how useful it could be, but we will watch and try our best to assist you. What do you say?
Well, I don't see... Why wouldn't they let us leave?
I don't know, but they are hesitant to let people leave at night. It's dangerous. They might challenge you, and you seem to want to leave quickly. I don't know how precarious the situation is. You think there's some danger? Should I be aware for my family?
No, not directly. The imminent danger is more for Irina staying here, and it's more us having rather urgent business at the abbey and getting things sorted there to take our next step. It's more that than us needing to flee the city. Things will be fine, I'm sure, for you living here. It's just we don't see any reason to dawdle about.
Yes, and you will likely be safer here without us.
Very well then. Well, I guess I'll bid you farewell, but we will keep watch in case and try and assist you if we feel it's needed. He sort of looks up and You see a few ravens already starting to gather around the top of the barn.
Well, let's see if we can... how the situation is at the gates, if we can just convince them to let us through.
Yes, let us see.
So, you gather on your horses and start to leave the stable.
Hmm.
And the second you leave, you look to your left, Roshik, and once again, the old man is there. Only this time, he's directly, quite obviously observing you, and smiling. What do you do?
Hello, old man. What are you up to?
I suppose the question is, friends, what are you up to? Your behavior does not seem as if you are friendly with the mayor anymore. I see you entering churches and leaving by side exits, and then I see you moving through quiet parts of town. Are there problems with the mayor? Are you no longer seeing eye to eye with him?
There are no problems with the mayor. We just have an urgent business to attend to outside of town, and we don't want any distractions or conversations to hold us up for the minute. Could you be of service?
I certainly could. You wish to get out of the town now? Quickly? Quietly?
Yes, we certainly do.
Very good then.
He comes forward and he smiles at you, Roman, and dusts himself off. Now he's come over close, you notice that even though he's an old man, he's actually dressed quite nicely. Well, as nicely as anyone is in this place, even though, like everyone, he's sunken and miserable looking. Although you notice a little bit of colour on his person.
I will offer you something for free. Izek is already at the gate you'll be going through. He is waiting. He's noticed that you've not left the church for some time and moved himself and some men to guard the gate. Just in case. It seems he was correct. You wish to leave very quickly. I don't think you're going to please the mayor with that sort of action. But I can help you. There is only one price.
Let's hear it then.
I can get a distraction. Yes, we can get a distraction. It will draw the attention of most of the guards of the city. It will not draw Isek's attention, though, but that's fine, because you're going to kill him.
What's that? Kill Izek?
Kill him? Yes. He is a horrible man. You sense this. It's the reason you're trying to get away from this place, isn't it? I can tell. You can tell. There is something very wrong with that individual, and I assure you there is. He is a very evil man. You kill him. It shouldn't be that difficult. And you can make your escape. The rest of the guards will be very distracted. You won't have that much time, of course. He clicks his pipe. But, you know, it's a very good plan. I'd do it. He smiles.
How do you suggest we go about this?
Points at your weapon.
Just in front of everyone? And you expect us to get away with that? I mean, he does seem a very strange man, and there is something about him, but I don't have any reason to, I don't know, kill him straight. I look to Roman.
He frowns a little and then he shrugs.
If you do not want my help, you do not need it.
But I'm telling you what's going to happen. You're going to go to that gate you're trying to go to right now, and he's going to be there. Make of it what you will. I'm offering you a solution.
And we suggest I just walk up to him and draw my sword and strike him down. Just like that, and then we'll be able to leave the city without any other guards, you know, just collapsing upon us.
He frowns a little and nods.
The distraction I have in mind will draw the attention of an awful lot of guards. They won't all be able to get there immediately. We'll have a few moments to deal with perhaps him, maybe another 2 guards, rather than the 4 or 5 that'll be awaiting for you. And then you'll make your exit. I mean, he frowns a little, I suppose. You could get away with just mortally wounding him, or...
Yeah. It did look fun when I thought about him with an axe in his head. What do you say, Roman?
It is difficult for me to commit an act such as that. It goes against what my god teaches me. I do not know of any villainous acts that he has done directly. Or do I? Have I seen him act in a way that would seem evil?
Haven't really seen him do such things, although you do recall the first day you arrived, and you remember him standing quite proudly over those people in the town square. And every time he has looked at you, those eyes have seemed hollow and dead, but more so than some here, filled with something unpleasant. Irina, at this conversation, by the way, seems a bit neutral. She's like, I do not know if I feel very comfortable with this, but at the same time, that man, there is something very wrong with him. I worry what will happen if he truly is at this gate and we do not have some distraction at hand.
Well, and I turn to the old man. Well, there you have it. We need a reason for our priest here to commit to this act. What exactly has he done to deserve this? Do you have an example?
Let me think. How about this? Beating and executing without mercy. Many people in our town who have disagreed with the festivals have ended up in those stocks, or worse. I believe there's an individual, probably at the house right now, who is still there and has been there for weeks, being who knows what's been done to him. Many people disappear in the night under Isaac's command. His guards come in, they smash a place up, they enforce order. He has also many times threatened to set ablaze entire houses with his abilities. He is a man who can control fire with that hand of his. Yes. No, none have dared stand against the mayor in his time here with his enforcer, and his enforcer knows it. He is without mercy. If he thinks you an enemy, he will kill you. This is not a nice man. But, again, if you do not wish my assistance, I will go, and you can do as you wish. It is merely an offer.
You hear that, Rowan? Surely he deserves to be put down. Maybe that's why people don't dare stand up to the mayor. You see how oppressed these things are.
I suppose that you are correct about that. I will have to pray upon... I'll have to pray on this. But I will be there when the time comes.
Very well. If that's what you think, Roman, then I'll trust that you're in on it. We might relay this to the keepers as well, and then set things in motion. Alright, do what you need to do, old man, and maybe I'll see you again.
He smiles a large grin at the pair of you.
Yes. No. Perhaps I was wrong about the pair of you. Perhaps you do care about the town. Worry not. You are doing great things. This is going to be for the good of the town. Much better than things would have gone. This festival. Foolishness. Very good, yes. I will do my part of the bargain. I hope you will do yours.
And he just sort of darts off and moves away into the night very quickly. So what do? You're standing outside now, the inn. He's darted off. You assume to enact whatever plan he said he was going to enact. Time is pressing. What do you do?
I quickly remark, so I guess this festival tomorrow might take an interesting turn of events, and I start heading back into the inn to relay this to our close friends.
Owen frowns a little at this new information. Wait, did you get the name of who this person is? I don't understand why this random person. What are they going to do?
Something that will take the distraction of the guards, he says. He seems very keen on helping us. In fact, he's been following us around this whole time, keeping a bit of a distance, but now sort of seeming to have some interest in what we're doing.
Owen frowns a little and remarks to you, Roshek.
An old man.
Was he quite well dressed?
Yeah, he actually was. I mean, the clothes looked a bit old, but yeah, he was well dressed.
Ernst. Ernst is one of Lady Wachter's lackeys.
she is not a fan of the mayor. Her noble family is one of the other rich families in town. I'm slightly worried about what you potentially have agreed to, but I suppose if I don't know why he'd just offer assistance. I suppose we don't have much time, though. Very well, I will have some of our kin watch and we will assist you as you can, but it sounds like maybe you should go now then. I don't know what's going to occur.
I nod and, right, we're moving out. And start making our ways towards the gates then.
You all begin then to ride out into the night. The town seems oddly subdued, as if holding in a breath. You see almost no one on the streets as you ride past. Roshek, you do notice a little movement though from above. Someone is in the process of closing a window. You watch and look up to see the face of a child looking down at you for a moment. The expression at first is void of any emotion. Dark eyes with nothing behind them. As this child watches you for a moment longer though, you do see something that comes from behind those eyes. Fear. Terror. The child quickly slams the window shut, much as any child would when it saw a monster outside its window. Roman, you look up and notice this as well. Odd. Some of these people show such little emotion, but when they are afraid, it suddenly seems that they come to life, if only for a moment. Still, you do not have time to dwell on such things. All three of you then ride towards the gates. As you do so, you start to approach, leaving that part of town you've come to before, and you see before you the gates closed, currently barred, and standing in front of them, Izek, at his side, 2 guards, and you notice in 2 little towers that sort of stand around the walls, 2 other guards currently on watch. This is the situation you see in front of you. What do you do?
Do we have any signs that this sort of distraction has occurred yet?
Nothing's occurred yet. You can wait a little more if you want. Maybe sort of stick to the side of the street and just wait a few minutes.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I turn to Roman. Seems like there's nothing going on yet, distraction-wise. Should we wait until something happens?
Let us wait and then act when the time is right.
I nod and I move up to the side street.
You wait 5-10 minutes. You've managed to sort of approach just in the way that you haven't been noticed yet because you've stopped moving. Irina has a sword ready. She is looking around anxious. I wonder what sort of distraction he could do. The church bell begins to ring loudly from within the town. It's hard to hear from here, but you're pretty sure you hear some, shouts, a few shouts, something's happening. You turn down to the road and see a guard briefly just very at the far end of the road running somewhere. And Roshik, with your low light vision, you can see quite well in the dark, and at this point of the town you've got a bit of a raise. You think you see somewhere in the dark, it's quite noticeable, considering how dark the place normally is, some light. Something suddenly seems a bit more lit up than usual. You look directly in front of you and notice sort of a look of alarm on some of these guards' faces, and the 2 in the towers immediately start to head down, and one more, they all begin moving very quickly. They talk with Izek. He frowns and sort of scowls, shakes his head. But then 3 of them begin marching very quickly past you. They notice you as they're passing, but then sort of seem a bit distracted and just sort of run off. Again, the bell keeps ringing now. Dong, dong, dong. What do you do?
Let's see if he'll just let us leave now. And I lead out my horse and start making for the gate and towards Izek.
The gate, by the way, what kind of gate are we talking about here? Is it like a metal...
It's a good, sturdy iron gate, currently barred closed. As I've said before, the fortifications for this town are not the best in the world, but you remember when you came in, they were very intimidating. All those wolves' heads on spikes and everything. It's designed to be reasonably sturdy.
Yes.
Although the walls around the town are not made of stone, but of wooden palisade. Good, thick wood, but wood nonetheless. And all three of you march towards the gates. You start moving forwards, and one of the guards looks up and goes, "Well, what? Citizens, to your homes, fire, quick, back with you." And Izek just sort of stares. What do you do?
I say, we have some business outside of town for the night.
Guard seems about to question, and then Izek just holds up a hand, silent. "You do not have any business outside at this time of night. Return Irina to the church, return to the inn, and get ready for the festival in the morning."
I don't think you heard me. We are leaving the town for the night. Please undo the barred gates.
Izek steps forward, stares at Irina. He stares at you. "She is not going anywhere. She is staying here. She is safe here. Return to the church now. You are not going anywhere. Beastman."
And then I draw my sword. We're leaving now.
The guard at the side looks a little concerned and backs away. He looks very confused at this situation. You hear the bell ringing louder, and Roman, you look behind you and see there is definitely now some commotion happening in the town of Anakai. Irina looks concerned, and Izek stares at her. "I have finally found her. You shall not get in my way." And he brandishes forth his large, intimidating battle axe and stares dead in your eyes. "Roshek, you will return, or I will kill you where you stand."
I undo the clasps of my buckler from my back and I bring it up on my left arm, with my sword still in the right. Very well, and I go to attack.
Roll initiative.
7.
19.
You charge forward, blade ready, battle ready. But to your surprise, Roshek, this individual is not cowed. He almost, for a moment, has an emotion on his face, finally, of pleasure, the concept of your death, and he raises his battle axe to counter you, and swings for your head. You duck out of the way instinctively. However, he raises his weapon again. His speed is impressive, and this time you are unable to parry quick enough. 13 damage as he slashes at your side.
Aha! Finally a worthy opponent. And I strike with my blade. That's an 11.
He parries expertly, your weapon clanging off his. But you're not finished. Another attack, I assume, is coming.
Yes, I didn't realize it. But something in me just feels like I'm getting into it now. And I roll 19 plus 7, 26.
Roll damage.
7.
Your second attack gets through his guard and slices deep into his thigh. He grunts in anger, but doesn't seem to really be that bothered. Now he is in battle, you notice this man is thick of muscle. He is powerful, and that arm of his is something unnatural is going to occur, you feel. The other guardsman at this point sort of backs away. He doesn't seem to know what to do. Roman, it is your go.
I look at what is unfolding and I sort of shake my head. You leave us no choice, I say. I close my eyes and I make my prayer to Lathander, and I unleash my guiding bolt of holy light upon Izek. And I roll a natural 20. This is a level 3 spell. So that's 39 damage.
You unleash holy hell on this individual. For a moment, you feel that your actions are correct. You are filled with this surge of righteousness. Surely he would have let you pass if he was a good man. What other reason could there be? You summon your bolts almost at point-blank range. he actually looks surprised for a moment as suddenly these bolts of blazing light just cascade upon him, shoving him back, burning his cloak off him. Fire, he has to thrash it out, and he growls, a bestial growl of anger as he stands before you, practically smouldering. His face, a horrible burn gash, has covered half of it as he sort of staggers and glares at you. But this attack was incredible, Roman. Even to you, its effect was surprising. You feel almost a little bit of a shake in your hand from the power you just wielded. The guard looks stunned, and this is a perfect opportunity for Irina, who suddenly gets off her horse and just sort of places her sword at his throat. Please, do not move. I do not wish to harm you, but I will if I must. And ravens suddenly seem to be flying overhead around you, watching this all with great interest. Izek howls in anger, staring at you, Roshek. He grips his battle axe in both hands. You will die, beast! And he swings his blade in your direction. The first swing goes wide. He's clearly a little stunned from what just happened. The second swing, though, meets you full on in your shield, and it does. The impact, the force of the blow, his strength is still good. 15 damage.
I meet the blow with my shield, and I feel the reverberation in it, and it's almost... it hurts my arm and my shoulder, and I cry out in joy and ferocity, feeling that I'm really alive now, and this is the kind of fight I've been waiting for. And I bring up my sword from under to make an upward slash. I roll 17.
Roll damage.
It hits. 7 plus 4, 11.
Your second attack.
As I slash him up, I go... Oh no, I swing the blade around and I change my stance to go for another sideways attack. And it's 25.
Roll damage.
5 plus 4, 9.
Do you wish to use an action surge?
Yes, I do. 11.
Your final blow doesn't quite hit the mark, but the first two were good, solid hits, slashing into this man, one at his leg, one at the other leg. He falls to his knees, sort of sways a little. He's bleeding from the mouth. You've done serious damage. He grunts. Irina, you can't leave me. Not again. So, Roman, what do you do?
Leave him again? What? Irina, what does he mean?
I don't know, she says, startled. I don't understand what his obsession is with me.
If you're not striking, I am.
I cannot do that, no. I hesitate.
Irina has the guard still at sword point. She looks to Izek and looks to him. You, open the gates. We are leaving now. And he frowns and nods and starts going to unbuckle the barricade that holds the gate open and starts getting it open. Izek bellows in agony and misery. He's trying to stand. Roshek, bleeding heavily from mouth, bleeding heavily from his wounds, but he's steadying himself on his axe and standing up again. No. And he looks to you, Roman, and extends a hand. From this hand, you now see fully his scarred, twisted hand with these barbs. What on earth is it? Suddenly, fire begins to appear in his hand, and a cascade of flame shoots towards you, Roman. But it goes completely wide. it dissipates quickly. Izek is stunned. He coughs blood. He sways again. Roshik, it is your turn.
I see him sway and I try to find an opening. Roll a 19, so 26. I see the opening and I strike. That's 12.
Tell me what you do.
I go to finish him off and chop his head straight off.
And with one clean motion, you sever his head and send it flying, blood splattering across the ground. His body sways to the side once, twice, still standing, before finally falling back with a thud. The guard is stunned as the gates are open. Irina looks horrified for a moment at this display. She shakes her head. I do not understand. This horrible man. What did he want from me? I do not know him. How did he know me? She gets onto the horse and motions to you. Roman, you look behind you. You see now the bell ringing loudly, and men are coming. 2, 3 guards are suddenly approaching. They are seeing what has happened. They have alarm on their faces. Weapons are raised. They are coming.
Time to go. I get back on the horse and move to get out.
I sheathe my blade and I say, "It was clearly a madman," as I swing up on my horse. But it was a good fight.
And you get on your horses and ride into the night, into the darkness, welcoming it. As behind you, you hear the clanging of bells, the sounds of alarm, and is that smoke you can see, Roshek? Smoke indeed, coming from the town of Valakai. Just as you pass by the gates, Roman, you hear one final thing from that guard as you pass. So much for the heroes of Valakai. You notice more guards arriving at the scene and stopping to watch you all depart. They begin to gather around the body of Izek. They clearly are at a loss of what to do. As you begin to get further from the town, you can see more clearly where that smoke is coming from, Roshek. Flames are rising steadily into the night, close to one of the walls of the town. Perhaps from a bonfire, you think. Roman, your attention is more on the guards as you depart. You catch sight of their expressions. Betrayal and confusion mar their features. Do you think what you did was the right thing? Do you think your god would approve of such rash actions? Irina has her gaze firmly ahead, though she looks troubled. Something is clearly on her mind. The sound of the bell continues as all of you move your horses on quickly, moving into the dark of the night as the mists of Barovia rise about you.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the campaign Curse of Strahd for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Curse of Strahd was designed by Christopher Perkins and based on the adventure Ravenloft, written by Tracy and Laura Hickman in 1983. Dungeons & Dragons is published by Wizards of the Coast. The music is created by Metatron Omega, Flowers for Body Snatchers and Word Clock, and is used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for more tasty dark ambient. A new episode of Red Moon Roleplaying is released every Friday. Please like our Facebook page and give us feedback, comments and input there. You can also visit us at redmoonroleplaying.com. Finally, a huge thank you to our growing base of supporters. You are truly amazing and inspire us so much to keep going with the show. If you haven't yet found us on Patreon, please have a look at the links in the description and see if you want to show your appreciation and encourage our work with the show there. While the show will always be free of charge to our listeners, Patreon supporters have access to extra material such as our bonus Q&A podcast Ask for the Moon, where we discuss all topics and questions our Patreons have for us. You can even get access to the full-length, raw and unedited versions of our gaming sessions way before they are released as finished episodes. Thank you for listening. Looking forward to meeting again next week.